she wouldn't sit next to me. That's how it began. Not with yelling, not with divorce papers on a counter, just a chair. Empty. Cold. And the space between us spoke louder than anything she'd said in months. Evelyn chose the far end of the marble dining table, draped in a gown worth more than I made in a month, brushing past me like I didn't exist. Her perfume, sharp, expensive, cut the air like a blade. She didn't look at me when she spoke. "You're just a cleaner," she said, eyes forward, voice flat. The room paused just a breath, and then the laughter resumed. The rich laughed differently, like they were in on a secret you'd never be allowed to learn. I stared at the water in my glass, watched the ice melt, and for the first time, I didn't feel embarrassed. I felt ready. I used to think Evelyn's love faded like a slow season change. Now I realize it evaporated in degrees every time I came home smelling like bleach and stress, every time my hands cracked from scrubbing someone else's life clean. She used to say she loved my ambition. That was before ambition looked like early mornings and aching knees, before it stopped resembling luxury. That night, at the Lauren estate, the grand cathedral of glass and greed, I saw it clearly. Evelyn didn't just fall out of love with me. She outgrew the version of me she never thought would rise. Her laugh at Mark Laurent's joke was too loud, too eager. Her hand lingered on his arm too long. And he, the heir to a real estate fortune, looked at her the way predators look at prey, amused, already chewing. I kept my face neutral, watched them perform. Her teeth gleamed when she smiled. My heart didn't break. It solidified. My phone buzzed. He's 5 minutes away. I slipped the device back into my pocket, slow and calm. My reflection in the wine glass looked the same. But something inside me had shifted. I'd cleaned 1,000 floors, wiped blood from hotel bathroom tiles, erased other people's sins. But tonight, I wasn't here to clean. The sound of an engine, low and velvet, sliced through the string quartet. Everyone turned. A Rolls-Royce, deep obsidian, coasted down the circular drive like it owned the night. Eyes followed it, curious. Then wary. Whispers bloomed like weeds. Even Evelyn stopped mid-laugh. The door opened. He stepped out, Richard Kingsley. Silver hair, storm gray suit. A man who didn't walk. He arrived. The crowd fell quiet, reverent, as if royalty had touched down on their polished marble. Evelyn's champagne glass slipped from her fingers. It shattered like glass lungs gasping for air. He walked past the crowd, straight to me, clasped my shoulder. "Sorry I'm late, son." The air left the room. Someone actually gasped. Phones started to lift, screens lighting up like fireflies in a thunderstorm. Evelyn's face drained of blood, her lips parted but no words came. Mark's smile froze mid-sneer. He looked between us, like trying to solve a puzzle he hadn't studied for. I held Richard's gaze, calm, steady. He nodded, just once. "Your son?" Evelyn choked out. He's just a cleaner?" I said softly. "Yes. I wanted it that way." Richard spoke like frost over fire. "My son insisted on building something of his own. No name, no favors. He wanted to see the world from the ground up. So he cleaned while you pretended to be better." The guests turned. Eyes that once glanced through me now burned holes into Evelyn's mask. Mark stepped forward. "Wait, this can't be Richard. Come on. He's lying. This is some stunt." I smiled, slow and silent. Pulled my phone from my pocket. "Check the news." Screens lit up again. A headline blinked across every device like a gunshot. "Billionaire Richard Kingsley reveals hidden heir after 10 years in seclusion." My photo. a candid of me in coveralls holding a mop, and another sharply dressed, stepping into a private jet beside my father. Evelyn reached for me. Desperate. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know who you were. You didn't care to, I said. That was always the truth. I thought you were beneath you, I finished. You did. That's what makes this honest. Mark tried to speak again, but Richard cut him off with a look. That Kingsley glare that could silence a boardroom. You mocked my son. Played God in your glass cage. You've got 5 minutes to leave this property before the security I pay decides you're not worth the lawsuit. Guests moved away from Evelyn and Mark like they carried disease. Their silence was a verdict. The guilty had been named. She looked around. No one came to her side. I turned to Richard. Let's go. There's nothing left to clean. We walked through the grand hallway, silent now, stripped of illusion. The weight lifted with every step. In the car, he handed me a folder. The divorce papers. Signed. She gets nothing. Prenup clause infidelity and emotional abandonment. I didn't even open it. Just stared out the tinted window as the estate vanished behind wrought iron gates. Evelyn was probably still standing there, heart pounding in her ears, wondering how it all unraveled so fast. Funny how money changes everything except character. That reveals itself when the mask slips. Richard broke the silence. You handled that well. I nodded once. I've had practice cleaning up other people's messes. And that night, I didn't just walk away from a failed marriage. I walked into my name, my legacy, and I finally understood. Sometimes, the greatest power is not in rising loud, but in leaving quiet.